Boom. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. So, um, what was I talking about? I was talking about that I was just a head floating with hands. It's really weird. So, I'm going to switch out my gear. I was saying Happy Black History Month. It is Saturday, February 3rd. And thanks for joining the Crypto Harlem live stream. I'm your boy, Matt, also known as Gemini Matt, one of the best hackers in the world. And, you know what I'm saying? Just out here trying to make more of me's. And what do I do? What does that mean? Well, just people who are digital activists, also known as hacktivists. So while people might march and people might vote and people might protest and people might, have conversations in salons and build and all that other good stuff, well, we're out here with our keyboards having the power of millions of people, right? Crypto Harlem is here for all marginalized and vulnerable communities around this world. But we're based out of here in Harlem, New York. It's Black History Month, and in the USA, Black folks are one of the most marginalized and vulnerable communities. And if you add on top of that, being a woman, you add on top of that being a queer person. If you add on top of that, you know, different faiths and different beliefs and all this other stuff, it gets rough out there, and we're here to show you how to use digital means to protect yourself and stay safe. And honestly, by keeping marginalized and vulnerable people safe, which was one of the hardest things to do, it's like lessons for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We're here for all people. So I'm gonna get rid of my invisibility suit. Look out. Let's see if I get more attention on the stream by taking my clothes off. I'm about to do right now. Oh, my head's invisible. And slowly, a body should appear. Boom. Check that out. What do you think about that? I'm rocking one of my favorite shirts right now. What you know about these birds? Okay. What you know about these network cables? What you know about Rise Up? Take that shirt up. You know what I'm saying? So Rise Up is a hacktivist collective, and they're dope. And if you were out there and I promised you some Rise Up stuff, I got you. Okay. I didn't forget about you. So the Rise Up stuff's in the mail. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get it to you over encrypted channels or whatever. So I just want to let you know that. Eh, So it's February, and I thought we'd do something different. We were looking at the book Hacks, Leaks, and Revelations, and we've been doing a chapter by chapter, page by page review, and but it takes up a lot of time. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it, and we're gonna finish that book, and we're gonna take you step by step each module. But I'll switch it up to make it easier for you to follow. I'll switch it up so you have a little bit more like homework and like things that you can get back to. And I'll probably make it like the third stream of the week or something. I mean, of the month or something like that. Like it's not always every stream the same. Um, I thought we'd do book reviews and talk about history of this stuff. It's 2024, and in New York City, we have a hacker conference called Hope. And I was just looking at it, I was like, yo, I should fill it out. I think we should be there. So Crypto Harlem's definitely going to find a way to rep and be there. And I've also been working on a bunch of different projects, including this like apparel line. So I want to launch and be able to like have merch and have gear for people during Hope. So I just really want to been thinking about a lot of things. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back, and yeah, just want to say what's up to all y'all. Now, you could catch this on YouTube. So if you missed an episode of this and you're like, oh, or I say something a little too quickly, or you need subtitles or anything like that, just understand that you can catch the stream on YouTube. Just type in Crypto Harlem and it'll be in the live section. And we're also going to start making more canned stuff. So like we're going to look for us. We're going to be doing a lot of things big this year. Last year was our 10-year anniversary, and it's really I was thinking about how to reach more people and how to be able to like really turn it up. So this year we're really just turning it up in a lot of different ways, and you'll see it and you'll feel it, and it'll be a lot structured, a lot more structured. I want to keep the energy but add a lot more structure. And for Black History Month, what I want to do is get some of my favorite Black hackers together and just interview them on the show. I think that'll be dope. Um, that's something that I used to do during Black History Month. I used to just give it over to people, and just be like, "You run the show." So, so I think what I want to do now is I just want to give people some props and some shine, um, and yeah, and do it that way. So yeah, let's just going through it with y'all, just letting you know, right? But most importantly, number one question, just want to like is take a deep breath. It's buckle up. It's going to be a big year. Thanks for spending your time watching this stream. You know, like we produce and make this thing live to get that real energy out there, and I really appreciate every time I see a little like a new person show up. So if you don't already follow us, hit follow on whatever you're follow, whatever you see us on, and if you do follow us, just keep following us. We're doing big things, right? So you can watch this live on Twitter, um, Instagram, no, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, and I've been messing. I'm trying to decide whether like it makes sense to do it on IG, but maybe I'll just jump on real quick, maybe just to like just to play with it. But yeah, it's real. Let me see. Let me grab. I got a lot of things to go over, and we don't have we. I usually do this for like an hour with y'all, um, so we don't have forever. And one thing I want people to know is like we're out here to educate. We're not influencers. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to like make this a full time revenue generating capitalism surfing situation. We're out here to educate. We're out here to show you how to make your own tools to solve your own problems, and we're out here to warn you about the harms that are coming and give you little umbrellas to protect you from that bad weather. And you can share that with your loved ones. You can share that with people you care about. If you have questions, you know what I'm saying? Like we're here to answer authoritatively, right? Because I've been keeping people who are very vulnerable safe for a really long time. Human rights defenders, lawyers, journalists, like all around the world, keeping them safe for a long time. Um, a lot of people talk a good talk, but they never really been out there. They never been out there. So I've been out there, so I always make sure that we super test everything. We always update everything, and that all the stuff you get is 100%. All right. So let's dive in. I just wanted to start with just some thanks. Just appreciation, just a roll call to the early birds who saw the Crypto Harlem Live, jumped in real quick, and I just want to say like props and an appreciation to you. So 00 Emily, Eight Hives, A Lonely Girl, Donk7, Draft Snat, Jason Pencer, Mark Zinks, like we out here doing it for you. We are doing it for you. So appreciate you so much for just rallying and always being put our hands together. And like I said, if you don't follow, please follow because that's a good way for you to get the see the bat symbol in the sky when we do the live stream. Yo, Twitch Marvin, appreciate you so much. Thanks for being out here, Twitch Marvin. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're out here for everyone, for the elders and for the children. Twitch Marvin's for the children. They're big fans. What do you think about Twitch Marvin? There you see? Okay. All right. So, one thing I really wanted to kick off with are two related stories that you might not have peeped, you might not have like kept your eyeballs on just like why we do this, why we need to keep our data secure. I'm all for policy and legislation. I'm all for digital rights and documents. Those things give us a foot to stand on, and they allow people who are in other positions, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hacktivist, but in other positions, they allow them to really shine and do the legal fight. And all the lawyers out there, like my homie CCC, who's out there, appreciate you. My homie Rams, we appreciate you. Nas and all the policy people I know, you're out there, and because of the laws, you can say, well, you broke the law here. That's why this is against the rules. But let's not forget, this is a cat and mouse game, and not everybody's interested in following the laws, or some people are involved in doing some jujitsu with the laws and bending them. And that's why at the end of the day, you're in charge of your privacy. You know, um, you're in charge of your your digital defenses. We can't rely on anyone else. Nobody cares about you more than you. Okay. So just understand that. And we have like some NSA news to share, I guess, to go over. And there's just a lot of stuff for you that you can do that I'm going to talk about to uh I just like look out for yourself, okay? So let me share one article right now, a little bit of the, you know, little bit of the what's going on in the news, but never before pulling down some tracks. So if you're out here and you have your hand on a keyboard, some people listen to this like it's a podcast. That's cool, but this is live. So if you have your hand on a keyboard and you want to just type in a genre of music, um, please do so. You know what I'm saying? Type in a genre of music, and I will cue up a song dedicated to you. You know what I'm saying? Just so let's see. Let's try to do it that way. I'm just gonna pop in something real quick. So like, if you like smooth jazz, I'll put a smooth jazz background on. You know what I'm saying? If you like hip hop, I'll put a hip hop on. If you like metal, you know what I'm saying? I'll put a metal on. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it'd be cool to just to put something on for you. You know, I thought that'd be cool. So I'm gonna try to get that popping right now. Let me see. And I'll look in the chat and I'll see if anyone gives me like a genre. No pressure, you know. If not, I'll just like, I don't know. I'll just cry at your lack of participation and energy. Um, but it's Saturday. This is first Saturday. Hmm. Mm. Let me try something real quick. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back to y'all. Do we got, what do we got? Hardcore punk, dark wave, grime, murder rap. Wow, wow, Marvin. You know, you really got a lot of action on these keyboards. Appreciate you. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this going. Okay, let's try. Okay, I think I'm in here now. Let me type. What was the first thing you had? Murder rap. Okay, we're gonna put murder rap in. Murder rap. Stuff comes up. Look at that. Dark hip hop, it says. Okay. Let me try to. I hope this doesn't sound too loud. Okay. All right, we got a track. Let me hear it. It's weird. Like, it didn't really. Uh, huh. Mm, I don't know what's up. Oh, it's just really quiet. Weird. It's weird. It's very not hip hop. It sounds like kind of like a cyberpunk industrial. almost like a movie trailer. This one. I don't like that one. Let me try to get you one. Yeah. Music, gangster, um, gangster hip hop. I'll make it instrumental. Okay, ready? Here we go. No, that is too. No, it's about bossa nova hip hop. No, that's horrible. Mm, that's not what I'm going for. No. Okay, that sounds very dramatic. I think that's what you wanted. All right, we'll get that one. Thanks, Marvin. Appreciate you. That one's called On the Hip Hop. All right, I'm gonna put On the Hip Hop on for you. There you go. Okay, On the Hip Hop. Luke PN. Okay, Luke PN's On the Hip Hop. No vocals, pluck. No vocals without pluck. I don't know what that is, so let's try it. Dun, 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 dun. Woo! Okay. All right. Ah. Okay, so this story is the NSA of the United States. They buy Americans' internet data without warrants, a letter says. And this disclosure comes amid congressional scrutiny and a Federal Trade Commission crackdown on commercial data brokers. And so we'll read this together, but basically the gist of the story is there are laws that policy people and lawyers and digital rights folks have put in place inside the United States to protect your privacy. And they control what it takes for a federal agency, a federal agent, law enforcement, investigators, all this other stuff to get information on you. And those laws are a real pain in the neck to them because sometimes it's like, sorry, we got to turn you around. You can't get this info. But the same place where they want to get the info from, or the kind of info they want to get, is on sale right over here. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, legally they get blocked over here, but it's on sale over there. So, they're just like, oh, we'll just pay for it. I got money. I'll put it on my personal credit card. And that's what's been happening. So it's a cat and mouse game. Your privacy and your privacy protections. Understand, like, we must advocate for laws and rules and policies and, privacy and all that other stuff. But, Rootsman Chin wants to listen to South African Amapiano. Okay, that's what we're going to have up next. I'm just going to put that in, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And thanks to... Okay, here we go. Let's go. South African on piano is a music. Africa on piano. Okay, that's next. That's the next track for the next information. Thanks, Rootsman Chin, for the heads up. And I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're here. We're here for the people. We're here for the interaction. We're not here to just stand around and sit around. All right. So yeah, let's dive into this article. Um, Basically, what it says here is this. Okay, this was January 25th, so it was like a couple days ago. National Security Agency buys certain logs related to Americans' domestic internet activities from commercial data brokers. Right. So I'm going to tell you how to protect your internet activity so this doesn't happen to you. Okay. And this is a revelation. Okay. And it's one of the latest disclosures to bring to the fore a legal gray zone. Okay. That intelligence operatives, law enforcement agencies sometimes purchase potentially sensitive information revealing domestic data from data brokers. Okay. And therefore they can jump over a court order that they would have to be required normally, right? And this came from Ron Wyden's office. If you ever want to stay on top of privacy, legal stuff, political dealings, and people who are trying to just make the NSA and National Security Agency, FBI, more accountable, you could just keep Ron Wyden's office. He's a Democrat out of Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Being about Oregon. Props to my homie Danielle who lives out there. Peace to you, fam. Appreciate you so much. Thanks for repping and always being, a supporter. Okay. Look at that. What you see from? You didn't think I'd be like, yo, you don't really, Harlem wants to give love to Oregon. Who would have thought? Okay, but you get the air horn. All right. So, yeah, and he basically said, hey, I'm a congressman. Please stop. Intelligence agencies, please stop buying internet data. It's wrong. It's wrong. And another thing that happens is tax-paying dollars, your tax dollars, go towards paying these third-party companies, and the companies that get the most money are the ones that are digging the deepest into the darkest areas. And he's like, the U.S. government then basically ends up funding and legitimizing the shady industry with flagrant violations to Americans' privacy. You know what I'm saying? So you heard it here. I think that's about it, right? And it says, let's see, there's another thing here. Okay. The NSA made a specific disclosure under pressure in a letter that its departing director, okay, sent last month, right? And so they were pressured, and he sent this thing last month, right? And in it, he wrote that they decided to reveal that it buys this commercially available data for its foreign intelligence and cybersecurity missions, right? And then there was some soft language around domestic internet communications, okay? Because it's like, we do this including net flow, and you might hear the word net flow data, right, a lot. And net flow data is a kind of metadata, and metadata is information about the information. So for example, if you call your homie down the street, what you're saying with them, that's the information. But the fact that you called yesterday at 3 o'clock, that's the information around the information. That's the metadata. Net flow data is metadata that is about computers and networking and IP addresses and how the data flows from where to who and all this other stuff, And it sounds like it's not that bad, but it actually could be a lot worse than the actual information, And I'm asked about, hey, can you clarify what you were forced to disclose in this letter? And you said in a kind of really guarded way. NSA's outgoing director basically said, look, at all stages, the NSA takes steps to minimize the collection of U.S. person information. Minimize, not do, not push back, On the other side, when it comes to foreign stuff, it's like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Gloves come off, right? So let's talk about mitigation. Let's talk about ways to protect yourself. And let's move to some South African Amapiano, okay? Let's get that going, okay? But if you don't if this headline doesn't make you, you know what I'm saying, gasp, you know what I'm saying, then you don't have your third eye open. You're not thinking straight, because um, your internet information tells a lot about you on any particular day. It tells people that you're watching Twitch or Twitter at 1 o'clock. It tells people, what you're researching, or that you are doing some kind of research, right? So let's switch it up. Okay. All right, Rootsman Chin, let me know if this music represents what you're talking about. I like it. I think it's cool, It's close, right? Okay, hold on. Let's switch it up. We aim to please, fam. What about this one? It's hard because I live in a world of cleared samples. So, like you like J. Cole, we got like Tay Swole, it's not a good match. It's not the same, backpack rapping about muscle game. Like it's totally different. But and once in a while we kind of hit it. So So, what can we do to protect our internet information? You know what I'm saying? We see in the headlines, they're really scary. What do we do? Okay. All right, cool. This is still okay. I'm gonna go with this. So, one of the things that we could do is our internet service providers, if you pay your money to Xfinity, you pay your money to Time Warner, you pay your money to Fios, Verizon, you pay your money to Google, Fiber, whatever, they are allowed to sell that data that they get. And what they get by default is they configure their stuff so they're doing all the lookups for all your websites. So what do I mean by lookups? What I'm talking about, right? Every website that exists, if you go to like google.com or yahoo.com or whatever.com, is actually a series of numbers, like a phone number. And your computer tells the network who's going to be in charge of translating the website you type in to what number server it's at. You know what I'm saying? And like if you were to go to and that number is called an IP address. We have an IP address, Internet Protocol address. Every website out here has an internet protocol address. So one way that I like to look up IP addresses, I go to DBIP, So let me just share that with you just real quick. Woo. Okay, so if I was to type I don't know if this will do a domain translation. Let's see if it works. Yeah, so if I type google.com into DBIP, it tells me that this is the Google IP address. So it did the translation for me. So when you type something in here, like any website you want, like cryptoharlem.com, you know, someone needs to do the translations for you. You know what I'm saying? And they set up their equipment that they're doing the translations for you. They know the website you go to, not the page. So if you're on CNN.com, they don't know whether you're reading the sports, they don't know whether you're reading international, but they know that you're going to CNN.com. They know the .com, you know what I'm saying? They know what site you're going to. So they know the time and the day that you're going to that site, and they know that for every site. So every page you visit, basically, they make it available and the NSA can buy it. So what you want to do is you want to make a different place do your lookups for you. A different, not the one that it comes with, right? And the best way to do that is to browse into your cable modem, to browse into your router, to browse into the thing that, you know, maybe it's your airport extreme. I was just talking to my homie James the other day. Props to you, James in Los Angeles. And we made a change to James's DNS. And you want to change your DNS server. You want to change your DNS. All right, let me put that on the screen, okay? So that stands for domain name service. You want to change that to something that's not the DNS that is automatically set up from the router. You want to change it to something that you can believe in and cares about your privacy, okay? Now, I'll give you a couple to choose from, and you pick the one that you want. One of them is Quad 9. And Quad 9, when you go to their website, which is quad9.net, let me share that with you. Quad 9 is an open DNS recursive service for free security and high privacy. Quad 9 is a free service that replaces your default internet service provider or enterprise domain name server configuration with one that, you know, like blocks lookups of malicious host names and threats, so tries to protect you from hurting yourself, but also promises to, you know, care about, guarantee your privacy because they're based in a Swiss-based, you know, organization, Quad 9 Foundation, okay? And to use Quad 9, you would use 9.9.9.9, Quad 4 nines, right? Quad 9. You could use that as your domain name service. So you go into your domain name service and you change it to 999. Your website should still come in. You should be able to get lookups, but they're not selling. So NSA can't be buying, okay? So that's the first one. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Boom, Quad 9. 9.9.9.9. You know what I'm saying? So if you're from Germany, you know, you speak the Deutsch, right? And somebody's like, yo, give me your internet information. They'd say no, which in German is 9999. So you can think of it that way. No to you getting my info, okay? All right, so that's Quad 9. Another DNS that some people use because they care about, you know, privacy and stuff is a controversial DNS provider, Cloudflare. You know what I'm saying? And Cloudflare's DNS is very simple to remember. It's all ones, okay? And it's just like 1.1.1.1, okay? And that's their public DNS resolver, domain name service resolver, okay? And if you want information on that, let me share that to you right now on the screen. And that is Cloudflare, okay? So I'm gonna put that up on a box. Now, they also protect and keep up and maintain the websites of a lot of really not cool websites, you know what I'm saying? Like hate sites and, you know, like people with like racist view sites and stuff like that. So they arbitrarily protect and also like, you know, protect sites that maybe you're like, why are you protecting the site? But it works. So I'm just gonna show you that, put that on the screen. And that's Cloudflare. So if you can't remember 9999, maybe you could remember, you know, like homies in some parts of New York, when they say goodbye, they say peace. Homies in other parts of New York City, when they say goodbye, they say one. You know, people like in Yonkers, uptown, the Bronx, whatever. So it's like bye, 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 bye. One is the Cloudflare. Okay, so remember it that way. Change your domain name service to Cloudflare. So if you want to know how to do that, it's different for every internet provider. So you just call customer service or check on the web or and just be like, I want to change my domain name service. Where do I do that? They'll walk you through, and you just put in 9999 or you put in 1111, and now your data is going to a place that is not selling supposedly to the NSA. Okay. And let's see where else we go. Try to give you some good options, but understand that what you're doing here. Oh, okay. What you're doing here is you're switching who gets the data. You know what I'm saying? From one place to a different place, to another place. You know. And I gave you some like really easy to remember ones. I'm trying to find some more easy to remember ones, you know, like that are probably not going to sell, you know, like Chaos Computer Club in Berlin. They have a DNS and it's 213-739135, but it's not easy to remember. You know what I'm saying? There's the Privacy Foundation in Germany. They have a DNS, and it's like 87118100-175, but that's not easy to remember. So I always try to go between like trying to get you easy to remember DNSs and you know, let's see if we can find one that's an easy to remember one. Swiss Privacy. Let me see what they're. Let me also, I need to oh man, hold on. Let me try to get this site in English. Yo, the site doesn't, let me get it in English for you. My German's very bad, but it's probably better than yours. So let me get this for you in English. That didn't work. Let me try it again. Source language, German, English. Okay. Yeah, kind of. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put some on the screen. These are some less easy to remember DNS providers, and I'll give you a link to this page, okay? So there's Freifunk in München, also known as Munich, and Freifunk in Munich, their DNS provider address is 5166255. There's Digital Society in Switzerland, and Digital Society is 18595-218-42. and there's Census Frids Denmark, also known as uncensored DNS, and that is 91 239 100 100. And just gonna put that up there. Woo. It's actually really tiny on the screen. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then let me also give you the link. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do that involves no technical change is to use a VPN. When you're using your VPN provider, they by default use their own DNS, So if you're using like Google One as your VPN, you're using the Google One DNS. If you're using Proton VPN, then you're using the Proton VPN DNS. And so if you want to know like a really good VPN provider that I would recommend is Bitmask, because it requires no login and no money. Okay. So if you go to Bitmask and you use their VPN technology, you should have your DNS routed over their DNS. Okay. That's another way to protect your stuff from being sold to the NSA. Okay. So now their technology exists for Android phones, for Linux computers, for Mac computers, and Windows computers. And like my shirt says, it's Rise Up VPN that's powering the Bitmask servers. Okay, so when you turn on your Rise Up VPN, your DNS should be routed through Rise Up, and they're not selling. Okay, so Bitmask allows you to get that. If you're another service which is good, but it's not free for everybody, is Siphon, because a lot of college kids be using it to try to get around university stuff for free, and that calls Siphon, which is a public private company, to turn off the free option for some countries. So if you're in the USA, you're in the UK, Siphon's not free, but you can check it out if you're in another country. And Siphon looks like this at siphon.ca. Let me just make sure I put Bitmask in the chat. Boom, Bitmask. You get Bitmask right there. And Siphon is siphon.ca in Canada. And a lot of folks in different parts of the world, in Asia and stuff, they've been using Siphon. Doesn't cost anything. It works again on Windows machine. Like you can see here, they have it. They have it working on an M1 Mac. Now available on M1 Macs. And you can pay. I mean, if you're going to pay a VPN, you might as well support this one. But the thing about free VPNs that I like is they're basically like no login. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little slower, but I like that. I like no login VPNs because there's not even a user to trace things back to. And then the last way that you could protect yourself is to use a technology like that will encrypt your DNS by putting it in the web, in your HTTP tunnel, your encrypted web tunnel. And that's a DOH, or like Homer Simpson would say, DOH, DOH, right? And let me just put that article up here. If you want to read about it, you can check it out on Wikipedia. DNS over HTTPS. It's a protocol for performing remote domain name system resolution, or resolving, right? Resolving, defining, squashing the beef, resolving, over encrypted web, right? So if you use DNS over HTTPS, it should also protect you from someone getting your lookups, being able to sell them to the NSA, okay? So Firefox as a browser tries to do this, and there are other browser technologies that try to also protect your DNS. Like if you use Tor browser, you should be good. iOS and Mac OS release support for different DOH protocols. You can turn it on in Google Chrome 83 or later, so there's ways that you can do it. And, like the providers that we talked about, like Quad9 and Cloudflare, um, Clean Browsing and NextDNS, they take advantage of this technology too. So, the way that Firefox offers it is through Cloudflare. The way Chrome offers it is through Google. But so you can read about it here. They talk about like, different technologies that would take advantage of DNS over HTTPS. So you could manually change your DNS provider. You could use a VPN provider. You could read about DNS over HTTPS and use a browser or technology that supports it. Those are all the ways to make sure that your web browsing history stays in your pocket where it belongs. But remember, a lot of technology that's given to you might try to default to a place where they collect that data so they can sell it and monetize. So just be smart. All right, hope that, there you go. So just a quick mitigation. When you see stuff in the news that you're concerned about, you always can bring it up here. We got your back. Cryptoharlem, give the answers that you need. We'll play some dope tracks, you know what I'm saying? So, based on whatever people want. Let's see. Rootsman Chin was like, have you checked out Control D, the free DNS from Control D? And yeah, no, I mean, I haven't, but let me just go there real quick. So let's say I wanted to check out Control D. The first thing I would look for is like, well, how are they setting up their DNS? And they say that they do not log, they do not store the queries, the DNS domain name service queries, the things they're resolving. So they don't store that I was trying to go to google.com. So they wouldn't be able to sell it to the NSA. They also told me that they're using that DNS over HTTPS or DOL, and that they're using DNS over TLS, right? And so I'm like, okay, they're using the right protocols. Then I'm like, well, how do they keep the lights on? And I see that they have a free DNS, and then they have some kind of pricing, right? And they have a bunch of like configurations here. They have the unfiltered, they have the malware blocking, and they have the ads and tracking blocking built in one. So if I want the unfiltered one, I could use 727620, and that's just a DNS for everything. And even if I want to go to malware and hurt myself, it'll let me do it. If I want to look at ads and get tracked, it'll let me get tracked. If I use this so that's this one right here on, I don't know if y'all can see on the screen. It's kind of tiny, actually. And I shouldn't highlight it, it makes it harder to read. So this is the unfiltered one right here. And if I go to configure, I guess it just helps me configure. I can read about how to change my DNS in my machine or on my browser or on my server. It tries to give me some information for different platforms. That's nice. If I say, I don't want the unfiltered, please protect me from malware while I'm browsing, as well as, don't let people steal my browsing information. I could go here, hit configure, and it gives me that how to set up the malware blocking one. It's legacy, secure. Let me see, malware blocking one. 767621. And if I go to regular unfiltered one, what's it give me? (767620). Okay, yeah, so that one makes all the difference. I use the 0 when I want just raw, give it to me raw, even when I want to hurt myself. If I want the malware blocker, I put a 1 at the end, 767621. And the ad in tracker is 767622. And that will block me from getting ad tracked over my network connection. And this is all legacy, it's all unencrypted. So I probably want to move to an encrypted one. And that's the secure DNS. And here they give me the way to set that up. And let's check out the pricing on this. Stop thinking about domain name service, blah, blah, blah. Pricing. Schools and nonprofits pay 5 cents. I mean, at that point, why even bother? This pricing model means the cost is calculated for each individual user on a monthly basis. 5 cents per user per month. This pricing model means the cost is calculated for each individual user on a monthly basis. What's the 5 cents versus the $5? I'm confused already, but it looks good. And if I'm, let me go to the web version, I get more information. Here we go. Oh, price per user per month, 5 cents. Price per router per month, $5. So if it's a person, it's 5 cents, but if it's a router, it's $5. Gotcha. And it's very affordable. Block 400 plus services. Content redirection, no. Single sign-on support coming soon for the bigger plans. Custom storage regions. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Roots Mansion, I give it a thumbs up. That's what I say. I think it looks good. I need to dig in more about like, where's the server? Where's it based? Like, let me go to their about. Because there's only so much you can do based on your location, what laws you have to follow. Blog. Wow. A little weird. Here we go. I found it by having to do a search because I couldn't find the About Us link. Our vision, everyone has the right to privacy, blah, blah, blah. Our story. We founded Control D in Toronto, Canada. Before Control D, we made Windscribe, a popular VPN application. I remember Windscribe. In our 5 years developing Windscribe, we saw that many people could benefit from security and privacy features, but simply didn't need all the moving parts of a VPN. We are Yegor Sak, Alex Pragis, and Mark Uliksky, founded in Toronto. And I imagine the servers are probably there, but let me just check real quick. So I go to the free DNS, and let me just quickly grab a server. This one. And then let me just look it up in Central Ops. It's one of my favorite web lookup tools. I go to Central Ops, pop in that IP address. That is the server that we're using for our DNS, thanks to Control D. Central Ops tells me that this is a machine called a free DNS Control D machine. Just getting some basic info here. Get a trace route to it. I'm just gonna quickly check it out in dbip.com. db-ip.com. db-ip.com. Then I'm gonna share the screen with y'all. See, I popped that DNS server in there. It tells me that this server is located in Toronto, Canada. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so I guess they have a data center there and they run their servers out of Canada. So, like, we would have to understand a little bit better the controls. But, I probably would put my server in Canada if I was them. But it's, it's DNS. It's cool. That's where the company is. So, yeah, there we go. What's my opinion of NordVPN? NordVPN, unrelated to the OnePlus Nord phones, is a VPN provider that's out there. I mean, it kind of works. They're very, they pay a lot of money to advertise their VPN. Like, most of the time you read about NordVPN, that person who says something good about it got a check. So that's always weird. There was that thing that had popped off between Uh, let me try to pull it up for you. Let me try to find it. Man, I'm trying to. There's so much shady information that's not real in the VPN world. It's just a lot of disinfo. And I use VPN companies' blogs, especially if it's someone from legal and not marketing talking, kind of get a better sense of where they are. But they had some beef with TorGuard. TorGuard is nothing to do with Tor browser VPN company. And TorGuard said that NordVPN sent people to a TorGuard employee's house, you know, so they had beef with them, you know. Let me try to pull that up. And they got sued. They ended up suing each other. It was such a weird story. It was so weird. I'm trying to find it. This happened in 2019. They said that a person came to the house. Let me just, not to rehash this old story, but, you know, nobody was surprised because they were like, well, Nord is pretty gangster about how they, it says Nord, let me try to find it. They said NordVPN threatened to release sensitive information about the company unless a product reviewer ceased posting about NordVPN, you know? So again, it's just like the marketing arm. It's about, we'll pay you for a good review, but if you write a bad review, maybe you should take that review down, you know? Like, it's weird. So let me try to put, you can just type TorGuard, NordVPN. Nord has a response. Nord has two blog responses that I'll share with you. This is about this when they got sued by that, by TorGuard. Try to get my background better, okay? And then we'll wrap. TorGuard lawsuit. But I mean, the tech is okay. It's just the company's wild, you know? So they wrote this response. It all started when we received information that led us to finding a TorGuard server configuration file lying in the open on the internet. So they said, like, we were all just minding our own business, browsing the internet, and our chief technology officer got like a heads up from, I don't know, someone at Nord that one of the servers were left completely unprotected. How did they say that they found it? We received information that led us to finding the server, right? And they were like, "Whoa, that's weird." So they said that their CEO, no, someone at Nord contacted the chief technology officer and CEO at TorGuard, and they were like, "Yo, you left all your stuff out here. Like, we can just see your stuff, and this is the IP address, and y'all should fix it," you know. But then TorGuard says that they were being like harassed and that they were being like muscled, and like that Nord was gonna say basically like, write good reviews about our stuff or we'll release that your server was open. I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird story. And so I'm gonna share it with you here. So I mean, just some 2019 beef, but it was just so strange, you know what I'm saying? So here's that story. And then there's this other thing that happened where they were like, we'll keep you private, we'll keep you secure from everything, marketing. And then the legal team was like, yo, we can't really be saying that. Law enforcement comes to us all the time, and we should explain how we deal with law enforcement requests. And so they wrote this article. and it's how Nord protects the privacy of its customers is the title of the article, and this is from 2022. But the article actually talks about this thing that PC Magazine had said. Nord VPN quietly changed a blog post to note that it does comply with lawful requests for data, right? And they were saying, well, the only reason why we made that change in our blog post was to try to separate ourselves from bad actors who let criminals do bad things. We want to make it sound, we don't want to make it sound like Nord is a haven for criminals. It's not because we changed anything we've ever done. Nothing has ever changed. Don't worry. We do the same thing we've always done, which is kind of weird because it's actually not, nothing has ever changed. You actually added words to an old blog article from years ago. So it was a weird take, you know, it was a weird stance. Look, VPN companies aren't going to keep you protected from law enforcement. That's not how they work. They're not going to keep you anonymous from law enforcement. If they get a request from law enforcement, there might even be like, without a warrant, without any pressure, they might just roll on you. Like, you know, everything else is marketing. So just understand that. I will put this article in the chat. So I think is the biggest issue. Again, it's not a knock on Nord. It's just marketing and hype gets out of control, especially when you're paying people. They end up having to walk back a lot of stuff. And they are very gangster about how they sell their VPN, and like, it's not that serious. So I don't know why. All right, so listen, I'm gonna stop the music, wind it down. Okay. Appreciate you so much. And we do this for all of you out there. Just gonna do one more roll call just to say what's up to you. Keep watching the space of 2024. We're always out here, 1 o'clock Eastern time on Saturdays, Crypto Harlem live stream. You know what it is. 00 Emily, H Fades, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. You know, a lonely girl, Alicidra, appreciate you so much. Commander Root, Don 7, the Dances with Burritos. Thank you. Drap Snat, Jason Pencer, Mark Zink. And Sakaxi, okay? And last but not least, put your hands together, air horn, a chant for D Elixir. Thanks for moderating. Thank you, D Elixir, for always being first to tell me that I'm on mute. I appreciate you so much. All right, y'all. See you next week. Until then, catch us in that Discord. You know what it is? Discord. It's like discord.com. No, discord.gd/Cryptoharlem. You know? So, you know, or discord.com invite Crypto Harlem. So, you know, if you can't get enough of us and you don't want to wait till a whole week, come jump in. The water's fine. You know what I'm saying? So now it's 2024, and no matter what you do, go outside, get some fresh air, but through your phone, through your laptop, make digital change happen. Okay? That's what it's all about. Peace.